Okay, so hey, what's up? I'm back with Gemini moon and Virgo moon compatibility. Um, okay. Well, I will say to start off, the bottom line, bottom line, these two have a rapport. Yeah, there's this bottom line understanding or rapport here. And these signs are both ruled by Mercury, and it brings this very um unemotional, realistic, let's get to the bottom line, like what is the functioning of this relationship, basically, to the forefront, which is good. However, when it comes to the moon sign placement, like I said with Leo moon and Gemini moon, I feel like the compatibility with Gemini and Virgo moon works best in the sun sign, you know, placement. If it does. I've seen quite a bit of relationships between Gemini and Virgo come together, even though they're squaring each other, even though it's like they have a basic understanding of each other, but their approach is different. Okay, so that could be something that's a source of irritation and demise of a relationship when it comes to the sun sign, but not as much, because it can be other synastry aspects that can actually bring it together, and they're able to overlook the said differences. Now, when it comes to emotions, though, that's where people start taking things personal. Whenever someone seems like they're disregarding us, or they are going against our basic emotional state of being, emotional needs, it really does feel like, okay, well, this person doesn't get me, is emotionally, they're not connected to me, I'm not connected with them, we just don't, we just not vibing that way. And what happens here is Gemini is trying to approach the relationship from an open way. Like the Gemini wants to bring a level of freedom within its relationship, emotionally, interactively. Sometimes they would possibly even want Virgo moon to grant them this said freedom, but maybe they, in return, they're not willing to really grant Virgo moon this said freedom that they're expecting that Virgo moon to grant them, especially if the Virgo moon is a woman or a feminine. And this can drive Virgo moons crazy, because while Virgo moon has the ability to really be methodical and with their emotions, and is really looking out for the upkeep of this relationship, okay, they could get tired of Gemini not being present when they need him to be present. Gemini's wanting to do what they want to do. And Virgo moon starts to look at this compatibility with Gemini moon like, okay, so, basically, are you in the relationship, or you just want to do what you want to do? Where this can be something that stays together or holds together is the sun signs really do play an important role, I feel like, with this too, to help with this. But if Virgo moon, because I see relationships to where they're squaring each other, signs squaring each other, they can actually, even though their approach is different, that is enough differences there for the both signs to operate naturally, and still kind of have that other sign or each other be supported in the way that they act naturally. Okay, so what am I saying? The fact that Virgo naturally is seeking to be a helpmate, to assist, they're willing to pull their weight in love, they're willing to do the work, they will be able to definitely, give Gemini the space that they need, allow Gemini to be able to do what they want and what they need. Really, really, they don't have to cross paths. Like, Gemini is doing what they do, don't really have to interfere with Virgo's setup. And Gemini will, for that freedom, okay, for said freedom or for freedom's sake, Gemini will pretty much let Virgo do what they want, with the house, with the family life, family situation, with the kids, and the Geminis could back that, okay? Because this, even though it could be difficult to navigate if you're, on an emotional level, it can actually work in this weird way. I noticed that. It's just the same thing with Aries and Cancer compatibility between the two. It's just the same thing. It could be annoying as heck, but at the same time, Cancer has enough patience and enough emotional intelligence to kind of just let Aries have at it. You get what I'm saying? And Aries in return is going to let Cancer have their way with the way like things is going to be ran with the family and stuff like that, but at the same time it can still be a lot. So bringing it back on to Virgo moon and Gemini moon, these two, they don't really necessarily think alike, but what happens is what they do is they come together to form some sort of mutual ground. Now, with communication and with understanding. Now, on the emotional level, I feel that neither one of them is that emotional. So already the way that their relationship won't be one just based on emotions alone. However, if you look at the opposite sign of Virgo is Pisces, and because of this, Virgo does have this emotional aspect to itself that's naturally operating, and it can come out through the moon, but in a way to where Virgo can start to feel like it's losing control. Virgo can start to feel like it is not operating on a steady, strong foundation when dealing with Gemini moon. So when what needs to happen is Virgo needs to communicate with Gemini in a way to where it's like, okay, well, I'm not telling you what to do, but how can we come together to resolve these issues that we have? How can we come together to get both of our needs met? Because understand, relationships is about meeting needs here, and Gemini moon can communicate to Virgo moon like, listen, I'm not trying to leave you out of anything. I'm not trying to, like, no, I'm here. I'm willing to be in a relationship, but at the same time, I just don't like to be controlled. Like, I just am open to the way that happens, and I'm not really in my feelings about it. You see what I'm saying? Even though Gemini moon can be sensitive, I feel like they both, when other people can't, get to them, either one of them emotionally, they can do it to each other. And they can have arguments. Virgo can shut down. Gemini can shut down and want to be like distance from Virgo or whatever. But their key thing here is communication. Do you really want to be in this relationship with me? Do I really want to be in this relationship with you? If the answer is yes, okay, what do we need to do? Like, what are you needing out of this situation? Because this is what I need. Okay. And it's not about controlling anybody. This is just what you do. Like, you want to make a relationship work, you gotta work. You gotta do the work. You gotta put in the work. Like, you have to show up. Okay. So what are things that you guys can work on together? Having regular conversations. Because I kind of feel like Gemini sometimes do like to conversate with their Virgo moon partner, but Virgo moon is really practical. Is really like Gemini moon could start to find Virgo moon to be boring. So it's like you gotta really get to know each other, because things are constantly changing, especially with Gemini moon as they learn things. So communication is the biggest thing, and it's not about just communicating. It's like setting up that time to have those interactions together and both be present there. And it doesn't matter how much it irritates you, Virgo moon, still be like, okay, well, it just is what it is. It don't matter how much it irritates you, Gemini moon. You're not being controlled necessarily. You are just being part of the relationship developing. But if not, it'll be disharmony within your approach to the relationship. Okay, with each other and each other's emotional needs. Okay, so this has been Gemini moon, Virgo moon, synastry, compatibility, and I will be back.